As the waters from Hurricane Harvey recede and rescue operations turn to recovery, Hurricane Irma is gathering strength in the Atlantic. Although her track is still uncertain, she's a reminder that the next event is always out there, looming on the horizon. Any region can experience weather-related emergencies. It is important to prepare your communication strategy and technology before the next event. I don't want any of our customers, government agencies, or public safety organizations to regret a lack of preparedness in the wake of a natural disaster, so we've assembled some best practices for mass communication in critical event management.
Here at Everbridge, we can serve virtually any organization with our critical event platform, which can be configured and tuned to achieve your communication goals. Around our office, we keep our eye on the world and stay on top of the events that affect the lives of our customers. And when an event like Hurricane Harvey arises, our event management team will formally change our operation mode to add staff and monitoring to our Network Operations Center and our live operator and support lines. We have redundant operations in multiple geographies to ensure our services and support are there for you in the case that we here at an Everbridge office are affected by the same event you are. So let's dive in and take a look at some of the areas that you can address to keep your community safer starting today. Writing a message seems like a simple task, but when you're delivering critical information, it can quickly become a challenge. Or worse, the quality of the message can be overlooked entirely, and you can be left with something that doesn't have enough information, or something that has so much information the recipient overlooks the important part. I recommend practicing the processes I'm about to show you a few times, so you're prepared when the next disaster strikes. When crafting a message, you want to be sure to answer these 3 questions. Who, what, and how? Who we are targeting is important to consider. Are you trying to reach a certain group, particular individuals, or target a geographical area? In the case that you're trying to target a group, make sure that you have the group set up and maintained in advance. We want you to try and avoid having to make those groups at the time you are sending the message because it will add significantly to the time it takes to get the message out, as well as introduce the opportunity for error. Likewise, with geo-targeted notifications on the map, if you have shapes of a certain evacuation zone or district, make sure you have those loaded up in advance. These are easy things you can do now to prevent mistakes later. As for the what, I want you to consider what you are sending out. Is it a text-based message or a voice-based message? Let's take a moment to consider sending out a voice call to your community, using either your commercial data or E911 data. In a system like Everbridge, you can type that message out and let the text-to-voice feature convert it into spoken word, but we'd actually advise that you take a moment and record the message with a human voice. Using a voice recording will expedite the amount of time it takes to get the calls out and provide a clear message, and citizens will be more likely to listen to it. Now let's look at the how. What are you sending? An email, an SMS, a voice-based message? When crafting your message, you need to consider the device you are targeting. For example, if you wanted to send a message with a very specific detail, like the address of a water distribution point, sending it in writing, like an SMS, is a great way to get the notice out and save your recipient an easy way to refer back to the information you sent. Now, let's dive more into the message construction itself. We always encourage using the KISS methodology. That is, keep it simple, silly. Keep your messages to 3 short sentences. Limit yourself to 3 key ideas and use 30 words or less. Following this methodology will ensure your notification is succinct and to the point. For example, tell them what is going on, what you want them to do, and when they can expect the next update. In a case where you need to get very detailed, perhaps providing a pre-storm checklist, it may be better to deliver this as an email or an attachment, or refer your citizens to your website for more preparedness instructions. While having a well-crafted message is essential, you need to ensure you're sending it to the right people, or anyone for that matter. A coming storm is a great time to remind citizens to sign up for your community messages. When a resident signs up, we can get a very complete and accurate profile of that person if you're asking them for home phone, mobile phone, SMS, email, and locations that are important to them. It's critical to have multiple modalities to reach people on, particularly in a situation like a storm, where residents may be displaced and difficult to locate. Getting the word out is easy. First off, make sure you have the link to your sign-up page front and center on your website. Then, get in touch with local media and take advantage of events that have volunteers to promote and take sign-ups. We wouldn't suggest relying on opt-in data alone. As hard as we try, we'll never reach every citizen. In that case, we recommend supplementing your data with other data you may have at hand. If you have access to the 911 data in your area, load it into your platform so at the very least you can ring landlines. If you're an Everbridge state and local government subscriber and you don't know when your community data was last refreshed, please take a look as soon as this video is over. Everbridge state and local government subscribers are entitled to a free refresh of this data once per year. If you need your data refreshed, please send your request to support@everbridge.com. And yes, we've been following the dramatic decline in landlines over the past several years, so we've recently enhanced our data offering, and we're now offering VoIP numbers as well. We've also started offering mobile data to our customers for emergency communications to offset the reduced number of landlines. If this is an offering you're interested in procuring to enhance your data, please reach out to your account manager. Here's a typical distribution of commercial data. While it has great coverage, landlines aren't necessarily the best way to reach people on the move. We can then enhance this data with community sign-ups, where the residents provide us with additional delivery methods. And finally, with Everbridge's new mobile data offering, we're looking at a far more robust picture. If you haven't sent a message in a while, it's a great idea to run a test. We don't mean you have to wake up the whole city with a midnight drill. Just practice using a small group of known individuals, making sure to warn your test group, and make sure those messages are clearly labeled with the word test. If you have a public system like Nixle, it's a good idea to post messages regularly so community knows the system is currently being used. If there's a storm coming, you can post an advisory that simply says you plan to post and distribute messages through this forum so citizens know to check back for more information. If you have a system based on phone calls, you can send a message, preferably at a decent hour, letting your residents know they can sign up and get messages via their preferred modality. In a storm like Harvey, it's extremely helpful to have access to the iPOS system, so when the floodwaters rise and landlines are not an option, you know you can at least get a one-way message to the residents' mobile devices, or anyone in the area for that matter. If you have credentials for the government iPOS system, make sure you have loaded them in your system and know the procedure to send a short, concise message. If you don't have credentials but are an eligible public safety agency, you can apply for those credentials. If you're an Everbridge or Nixle customer, please reach out to your account manager and they'll provide you with the information you need to kick off the application process with FEMA. If you use another mass communication platform or tool, reach out to your provider to see what services and support they offer to help you get started. An overlooked part of preparing for emergencies is making sure you know where your care-dependent citizens are. In the past, we've often talked to customers about evacuations, such as in a wildfire. It's something that comes on quick and can leave the dependent stranded and without their life-sustaining resources. With that in mind, you should coordinate regularly with your health department to understand where your at-risk population is located and what their special needs are. In addition to collecting needs information when citizens sign up, you can also just load this information into your platform to help your first responders evacuate special needs or check in on them in the case of an emergency. If you have this information loaded in your mass communication platform, you can do a really easy polling question to your special needs citizens, such as, "Are you safe?" And they can simply respond, yes, I'm safe, or no, I need help. And you'll have a clear and concise picture of where you need to send help to. As in any disaster situation, you need to be prepared for anything, such as what to do if the lights go out. Do you have a way to get the word out? We do. Make sure you have your critical apps on your phone and that you know your credentials or have Touch ID set up. We would also recommend getting several spare batteries for your mobile phone so you don't have to return to base to charge. The mobile internet is a beautiful, resilient thing, so the only thing you'll be missing is your ergonomic keyboard and widescreen EOC monitor. Also, Everbridge customers, don't forget about your support center with the online help in Everbridge University. Use downtime to brush up on messaging basics, or dive into some more advanced features and strategies before the weather gets wild. Recently, we've been seeing a huge demand for alerts that citizens can opt into via keyword on a mobile phone. They offer unparalleled speed when it comes to getting your citizens signed up. Our community engagement and Nixle products are used by over 3,000 U.S. agencies, and signing up couldn't be easier. It only takes about 10 seconds for a resident to sign up by texting their zip code or keyword to 888-777. And it's so easy and effective that the state of Florida saw 350,000 opt-ins within 24 hours in response to Hurricane Matthew. 38% of Sutter County opted in within 48 hours of response to the potential Orville Dam break. And 36% of Mariposa County opted in within 48 hours of response to wildfires. If you are a public safety agency and you don't have a system, I recommend getting one. Everbridge offers several products in our suite to help get you set up in short order. With Irma on the horizon, we're also offering rapid setups at no extra cost. If you want more information or to get set up, please reach out to our team at beprepared@everbridge.com.
If you have any questions about this video, please get in touch with your Everbridge account manager or contact us in the information section below. I hope you'll take a moment to share this video on social media with your public safety peers. Many of the best practices we have shared today are not just applicable to the Everbridge system, but any mass notification tool. So we'd very much like to get the word out to all communication centers in areas that could be affected by a hurricane or major storm, and keep as many people safe despite what Mother Nature throws at us. Thank you very much for listening. Communicate and stay safe.